What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a long time. I had some stuff to do in life and in preparation for this. And we are finally here. We have our first upgrade parts for the RCX. Now let me tell you the story behind why I didn't make an outro on the last video, the first start video. And the reason is the bike didn't work. The bike didn't work as it should been. It runs, well it starts and it runs, but it lacks power. The minute you give throttle, the bike just kills itself. And yeah, I figured it out. It was the carburetor problem. So yeah, the reason why the old carburetor didn't work, I'm gonna explain later when we take it off. But in this box is a new carburetor. I also got some other parts that I'm gonna show you, also for the RCX and for a other bike, another project that we're gonna start not really soon, but if I have the part already, then that's all good. So let's check what's inside the box. Of course, this kind of weird stuff when they ship it. Again, another sticker. These parts come from Motorkit.com. I'm gonna put the link in the description down below for everything that is in here. What should we start off first? Let me see. Oh, small part. This is for the new build. This is a keyway and we need to replace it. So this little part prevents me from starting the new project. Well, the project can start now, but the bike won't start without this. Next up, two chain tensioners for the back wheel. The old ones broke. Well, they bent and they were rusty and I just wanted new ones, so I got these. Also not really that important. Next up is this plug. The old way the RCX is stopped, well, how you turn it off, is by decompressing the cylinder head. That will use a cable and it will literally poke a hole into your cylinder and then let the expansion gases go through the exhaust, and that's how the bike stops working. But I have an electrical switch, so I don't need that, so I'm gonna plug it. Maybe not in this video because the plug will be really hard to get out, but this will not improve performance. This is just, yeah, because we don't need the decompression valve anymore. Next up, when I first got this package, I saw this. It's a Ngk Spark Plug Box, and I didn't order any spark plugs, so I was a bit confused. But when I looked inside, it was other parts. Throw the box away, and this is what I got. If you've seen the build videos, you will remember this. These are the gaskets for the intake. I got two of them because I found a new inlet that is much more better than the old one, and we're gonna replace that at that point, but still need to do some preparations for that. That's gonna be a total different video. We're not gonna do that. But now, the main of this box, the reason why I got so much stuff from Motorkit.com, remember that, links in the description down below, not sponsored, is this, a new carburetor. This is the new carburetor for the RCX. Now the reason that I chose this carburetor is because a subscriber of mine, we were talking about the RCX, he's building an RCX himself. And I was not really sure what to buy. Should I buy the fake carburetor? Should I buy the real one? Which size should I buy? Should I buy 13, 14, 15, 16, or even 21? And he recommended me to use a 15mm Dell'Ortho SHA carburetor. So I got that. It's an integrated shock. On my old bike, the shock didn't work. I had to pull it with a cable by hand. And now it's all integrated, nice and fresh, and ready to go on the bike. Now, will this affect performance? I guess not, because it's pretty much the same carburetor as the old one. Well, it's the Dell'Ortho, but it shouldn't affect performance. Well, the performance we could not measure because the bike will only go 5 kilometers an hour in its state right now because it don't have power. So this should let us run the bike as it should be. This will make the bike run. Finally, after almost 2 months of working on it, this is the part we need. So we're gonna put it on right now and yeah, try to start it, and hopefully it works out, because I don't want to buy any more parts. I just want to test the bike and ride it. Now, if you're wondering how much I paid for this carburetor, I got it from motorkit.com and I paid 39 euros for it, not including shipping. I got all these other parts to get to the 50 euro count, so I don't have to pay shipping. And yeah, all these parts together were 50 euros. The gaskets, the plugs, the chain, tensioners, the keyway and the carburetor were all 50 euros together, and so I didn't have to pay shipping. So let's get the bike and put the new carburetor in, and I'm gonna talk what went wrong with the old carburetor and why the bike didn't run. It ran, but it didn't drive, ride, whatever you want to call it. So let's get into it. So this is the carburetor that we're gonna replace. It's the old crusty one with the big air filter box, and yeah. So we're gonna take it off. I'm gonna have to loosen the coil and the wiring to get a better view, drain the gasoline that's still in the tube, remove this, and then just fit the new carburetor on there, and hopefully it fits nicely and we don't have any issues. Then I have to connect the gas cable, the throttle cable, throttle cable, and then we're gonna start it. So let's get busy, get our hands dirty, and cue the time lapse. So we got the new carburetor on. It's looking nice and pretty. Lots of room for activities. We don't have this bulky stuff right here. And you see, this is pretty big. This is pretty small. All integrated, all nice and perfect. But let me tell you the story. What went wrong? If you see here, don't know if you can see it, but the little tiny tube that comes out there acts like a jet. So it's not like you screw in another jet from the underside and then you can arrange it like that. No, this tube is the jet itself, and on the bottom of that it pushes into this little cup. There's a little tiny rubber ring, and from the age of this bike the rubber ring got really bad and it doesn't fit anymore. It wiggles around, so it's loose in there. So what happens when you start the bike? It idles because it gets enough fuel. But when you try to rev it, it gets too much fuel. Like if you have a jet that is too big, and what happens? The bike stalls. Its air to fuel mixture is totally wrong and it doesn't run right. So that's why I had to get a new carburetor. I could have bought the original carburetor like this to keep it real OG, but it wasn't in stock, so I had to get another one. So I just chose the Dell'Ortho SHA 15. It looks alright. It's perfect for what it needs to do. I still need to figure out how I'm gonna route the cable. The cable that I got is a little bit bulky and doesn't go into corners real much. The way the angle of the tube of the carburetor is not that ideal. Also, we have to take in consideration that we are turning the handlebars and the engine flexes like that, so the cable has to be run really free. So I'm gonna figure that out, because that is gonna be a really big job for me. And after that we're gonna take the bike outside and start it and see if we can rev it and get more life out of the engine without this carburetor and with the new carburetor. So I'm gonna fiddle around with that and I'll see you outside. So we are outside and it is fitted. I figured it out how to get the cable. Yeah, it looks loosey and janky, but it has to do We're just gonna try to run it, try to get some power out of it, see what it does with the new carburetor. It wasn't really difficult to fit it. If you have basic mechanical skills, it's pretty easy. One thing I was pretty shocked about is that Dell'Orto uses a plastic throttle thingy. Don't know what you call it in English. Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that. I thought they would use a metal one, but it's a plastic one. I guess it works, hopefully. And yeah, so before we started, I just want to say we still are running 25:1 gasoline with oil, 2-stroke oil. So it's gonna be smoky. Don't know what the engine will do when it's fired up, if it's gonna have if it's gonna have power or not, if this was a total waste of money, if the problem is not solved. But yeah, let's just try it out and see what it does. The fuel is on, ignition is on, and yeah, just kick it. First try, first kick, and it runs. Look at that with the new carburetor. Let's give it some time to adapt. Maybe change the low RPMs. You cannot see it, but there's a lot of smoke coming from the exhaust. Give it a little rip. Oh, she wants to go. She wants to go. Will she go fast? Will she go slow? We'll eventually know. So it works, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let the bike run for a couple of minutes, see what the temperature is at, see if we don't have any additional problems that we don't know about, and then I'm gonna figure out some camera system where I can take you guys on a ride, because that is gonna be pretty hard. I don't have my motorcycle helmet right here where I can fit up the GoPro, but I might have my head strap laying around, so that is what I'm gonna do. Also, I don't have any roads to ride on because, yeah, still not legal. But yeah, I'm gonna figure something out, and yeah, see you then. Okay, she's all warmed up. Felt the radiator, nice and warm. So what are we gonna do? Gonna go for our first rip. She wants to go. Off-road racetrack. Woo. Woo. Brakes need to work. Riding on dirt is not ideal. Woo. Oh man, I wish I had my helmet. Woo. She is not made for this. She belongs on the streets. Woo! That was our first ride on the RCX. Pretty amazing. I didn't have much room. Riding on dirt is pretty hard on this kind of bike. Yeah, and it performs better on the normal road than it does on a dirt road. But I can feel potential. It wants to go, but it needs some little more work. I mean, the brakes pretty squishy and they lock up very quickly. Front brake, not that good. Even the front wheel shakes a little bit, but I can resolve that with some brand new tires and inner tires to get it all nice and perfect again. Seating position is a bit awkward for me because I'm a little bit too big. When I really want to lay down, I have to sit on this part of the seat. So that's something to get used to, but of course, the circumstances of me riding right now are not ideal. We need a straight road to see the full potential. The cable for the throttle, it's too bulky to fit nicely on this. And yeah, I'm gonna need to sort that out. Throttle, not that really that good. So maybe I have to buy a new one. And yeah, the chain is pretty worn. I put on a better sprocket on the back tire. Also, I fitted a new rear tire, and yeah, it worked everything out because the last time I rode it, it was a little bit shaky. The bike was all like, oh, what's happening here? Because the back tire and the front tire are not fitted on right. I got the back tire pretty good. Front tire is still a work in progress. But now, the next thing we need to do, or the next big thing, is to test it on the road, get some numbers from that, see where we can improve. Of course, we have to consider safety, brakes need to work perfect. So I'm gonna have to find a nice and quiet, straight road to test this bike on. If you have any suggestions, what I can do with this bike, what modifications you feel that need to be done. We're talking performance, people. We want to make this bike run pretty good. Of course, it's an old bike. There's lots of stuff to do. But yeah, I'm happy that the bike runs right now. Again, I'm gonna put a link to the carburetor in the description down below. I got it from motorkit.com. I'm not sponsored to say their name, but their service is just amazing. I ordered the parts on Tuesday evening And on Thursday I got the notification that my package was ready to be picked up, and as you've seen in the unboxing, I got different parts from different brands and they still delivered it pretty quickly, so I'm buying my parts from now on. An upgrade that I just remembered is the inlet. That is gonna be key to do that, but first we need a road test. We need some numbers to beat, and this is how the bike would have performed if it was original, besides the carburetor. But yeah, the old carburetor was broken, so we didn't have any way of measuring the speed in its stock form. So a little bit of an upgrade, but still the original bike. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. We hit 1000 subscribers. I also want to thank you for that. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel to see more. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter and on Instagram. Great idea to follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of videos and pictures of the bike and behind the scenes, what I do and what I'm working on. So if you want a little sneak peek into the channel, follow me on Instagram. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys, and see you in the next one.